Miles from land, but inching closer to rescue. Those who hadn't drowned immediately when their boat capsized in the Mediterranean were saved when an Italian patrol ship arrived on the scene. There was no sign of the vessel that had brought them from North Africa, just a scattering of desperate people close to death. A baby was among those hauled aboard, but it's thought many of those who died were women and children. Other passengers were picked up by a Maltese ship. They were brought ashore with nothing except a blanket to keep them warm, and they were the lucky ones. Some of their fellow passengers were covered to provide some dignity in death. 143 survivors were brought to Malta, not the European mainland they dreamed of reaching, and the Maltese government is demanding that the EU do more to help.
What I know is that our forces, the Italian forces, we're not guarding Maltese or Italian borders, we're guarding European borders, but we're left on our own. We feel totally abandoned and isolated by Europe.
The other passengers from the latest tragedy were taken to the Italian island of Lampedusa, around 100 kilometers from where their boat sank. There will always be migrants lured to Europe by the prospect of a job and a better life, but figures suggest that the biggest influx is from families fleeing war. In some of the past 5 years, the numbers heading for Italy have been manageable, but the big spike in 2011 was caused by the turmoil of the Arab Spring. After a relative lull last year, the numbers have climbed again, 31,000 up to the end of last month. Many of them are coming from Eritrea and Somalia, while the civil war has also forced thousands of Syrians to join the exodus across the Mediterranean. Over the years, thousands of people have drowned, but it's only when dozens die on the same day that the world seems to take notice. The 300 or so who drowned earlier this month prompted overdue soul-searching and demands for action, which the latest tragedy will reinforce.
On one hand, the tragic events in Lampedusa showed to the whole world how deadly these journeys can be, and clearly raised awareness about the need to act. On the other hand, there is an instability in the region that is making it easier for criminals and traffickers who are behind these journeys to operate safely in some areas.
2 years ago, the then Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi drew cheers from locals on Lampedusa by promising that all migrants would be removed and that the islanders would be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. It was empty rhetoric. The Italian government has been unable to stop the flow of refugees and the people smugglers who exploit them. Ian Woods, Sky News.